This podcast is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to From Crime to Crime.
Oh man, I haven't heard that in so long.
I know. I almost forgot how to do it. Did I do it okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, we're back.
Yeah. Well, we will be back next week. This is just like sorry, we've been gone for so long. We didn't mean to be.
Yeah, the summer just kind of got away from us, huh?
Yeah. Well, Grant went and knocked a lady up, so we've been dealing with that.
I did. It's true. But in all fairness, it was my wife. So like, it's not weird or anything. So like, that's kind of how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah. For all of our sakes.
She'd be real mad if it was somebody else.
I think we'd all be pretty upset if it was somebody else. So.
Yep. So Grant's having a baby.
A little baby boy.
So that's part of the reason why we haven't recorded, not because of anything really to do with that, but like I was afraid I was going to tell all of you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say it had nothing to do with that. If anything, you were busy. So
yeah,
we had to take a break because you are this podcast. You're why people tune in.
Well, and I had some really eventful things happen over the last month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a whole bunch of family stuff you had to take care of, but
yeah,
you did it.
Moving and everything else. So we got it all done. So now next week we'll be back to normal.
Yep.
So all right. So you want to talk about I know we're like real awkward because we haven't done this in so long.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. So you want to get into what the hell's going on in true crime right now?
Yeah.
Before we do, though, we should shout out the 5-star reviews.
Oh, we are going to shout out all of our reviews because we got some good ones.
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Thanks for bringing that up. But while I'm going to pull that up right now, but while I do, we should say thank you to everybody who like checked in on us. We had dozens of people check in on us and like make sure we were okay and nothing had happened and stuff. So that was really nice. Thank you guys for caring what we were doing.
Yeah. So the first 5-star review is from Mrs. Coach C. So thank you, Mrs. Coach C. She said, I look forward each week to listening to this podcast. I love the cases y'all cover, the delivery of the podcast as you cover, and the humor and sarcasm that comes along with your dynamics as co-hosts. And most of all, the randomness and tangents that happen each episode, because that's how my brain works too.
Yeah, we definitely do that. That part's usually me. So, although it's not hard to get you to go off on a tangent. So,
yep. And then
you take this next one too.
No, you do it.
All right.
You don't know how to say her name.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's fine. You got it.
I'm going to guess Jamie Dea.
Yeah.
Or Jamie D.
Jamie D. That sounds tough. Jamie D. Also sounds like a breakfast sausage maker.
Or is that Jaime?
I don't think it's Jaime. I definitely think it's Jamie.
Okay. Anyway.
Love your show. Love your friendship and banter. I really appreciate how much you get right to the episode, not too much chit chat. Well, sorry about that today, but we're getting there.
Yeah. I was like, this episode, they're going to hate.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually we get right to the case.
Yeah. If you're not here for the chit chat, then just wait for next week.
Mostly because we've been gone for so long, we kind of forgot how to do the podcasting thing. So we got to like get back in the groove.
It did take a little bit to remember like how to set everything up and, what buttons to push and things. But hey, if you're hearing this, we did it.
So another 5-star review from Lissa67676. She said, OMG, I'm so hooked on your podcast. I'm way behind, but love the passion Grant had on the JC Dugard episode. I just listened to Darcy Farber. I think that's how you spell it, which is not, but that's a good try.
Hey, I would have screwed it up too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. And she said, and I thought from the beginning who it was, but then the plot twisted, but I ended up being right. I don't want to say in case someone here hasn't listened to it.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
So those are our 5-star reviews that we've had, but we had probably our favorite review of all time because there's a lot going on. It's 3 stars, which honestly I think we take. And the title of this one is Not the Worst Crime Podcast, which, hey, that's kind of been the goal from the get-go. Just don't be the worst. Anyway, so I will read this, and I love this. And this is from Cave Canary.
Yeah, this is the most in-depth. And the only reason why we're bringing this up is because we have like some rebuttals. But there's no way to rebut a review. But I can't tell if this person's going to listen to us again or not. So.
Erica hates that there's no reply option on these things. So this is how we do it. But anyway, it says, if you like true crime and don't mind it spun by two... If you like true crime and don't mind it spun to you by a folksy duo with zero background in criminal justice /law/psychology, or even really just a tenuous grasp on American history in general, this is an okay podcast.
Okay, pause right there.
I dig it. So far, I dig it because I mean, no lies, right? We have no background in this stuff. We don't say that we are. We are literally just an entertainment podcast.
That's the one thing I wanted to say was like, I hope nobody thinks that we do have a background in criminal justice or law or psychology, because we obviously don't.
No, we wish we did, but we don't.
I don't wish I did.
I wish I
but
did then.
Grant might.
Oh my gosh, I so wish that I did. But I love that they called us a folksy duo. I've never heard that before. And I even suggested to Erica we change our podcast name to that.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, but I love it.
No.
They come off a bit clueless at times. I think that was towards me. But it's forgivable. Thank you. They're not trying to pretend they're anything more than amateur crime lovers. Correct. We've said that.
True.
In short, they are dense but likable. Again, really feel like that's pointed at me. I don't feel like that was a direct point at you, Erica. I feel like that was an inadvertent way of like kind of giving me some love.
Yeah, but the next one's definitely pointed at me.
Right. It's except when she does that cackle or rails against the WNBA. One episode, Erica went off on the WNBA, and it was a bit much. I said that. She agreed with it, but nevertheless, and this person commented on it.
To be fair, we were going to take it out, and then we decided, like, whatever, if that's what gets us canceled is hating the WNBA, then it gets us canceled. And guess what? Nobody cared, because nobody watches the WNBA.
Yeah, nobody except this person.
Yeah. Well, she said it was bizarre, even to me, who has no loyalties toward the WNBA.
She did say
so it's
that.
like, why'd you even bring it up?
She did say that, or he. But again, with all of this kind of swirling around, all of this, and we take it all in, and we're like, huh, okay, like, it's not the worst review. We're fine with it. Then
Yeah, it's kind of bad, but not really.
The last sentence is why we love this so much. And it says, Def, a better podcast than those crime junkie hacks. I mean,
yeah.
What more could we want? This person thinks
that's what's...
we're better than Crime Junkie. So I think we've made it.
Well, that's what I don't get, because it's like kind of like a shitty review. They're like, oh, Grant's an idiot and Erica cackles, which is totally true.
Right.
We both agree with that. But then she's like, it's better than the best crime podcast there is.
In the world. Not even the best crime podcast. The best podcast in the world, the most popular one at least, is Crime Junkie. Yeah. And we're better than Crime Junkie? Hell yeah. Absolutely. I'll take that all day long.
So anyway, thanks Cave Canary 22 or not. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I'm all for it. I love it.
It's Grant's favorite thing. He reads it twice a day.
Yeah, absolutely. It gets me jazzed. Just gets me going.
Yeah, we read that while we were in the airport leaving CrimeCon, and Grant was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
It really is. Well, okay. So CrimeCon, we were there for CrimeCon this year. And I think it was a huge success. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Orlando sucks a fucking bunch.
Yeah, dude, Florida, man. What's going on over there? Like, it's kind of miserable outside. What the heck's up with that?
Well, I think they know that. I think that's pretty normal. We're the idiots that went to Florida in September.
Well, the one thing I will say is there were no bugs. Like, I hear all the time how the bugs are terrible in Florida, and we didn't see any bugs. I did get to hold a gator, though, so it was a successful mission.
It had its mouth taped.
Yeah, it was very small.
Just for anybody who thinks that Grant's like, cool guy. I just want to set the record straight. It was a baby gator and its mouth was taped shut. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't hold the gator, but.
Oh, fuck no.
But yeah, I was all about it.
Ugh. It just looks like it feels weird.
It did feel a little weird, but I was into it. I'd do it again.
Yeah. Oh, and Grant had a fun game that he played with everybody in the elevator.
Oh, I did. That's true. Yeah, I asked everybody on the elevator to kind of make conversation because you're all there for the same thing. I said, who's more famous? Chris Hansen, obviously, or Nancy Grace? Obviously not.
Obviously.
And everybody said Chris Hansen, except for like 5 people. But everybody else said Chris Hansen.
No, that's not true. We should put a poll on our Instagram.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Because I really think that Chris Hansen is more liked, but I think more people know who Nancy Grace is.
I think that's absolutely false. There's not a chance in this world that people do not know who Chris Hansen is. Everybody knows who Chris Hansen is.
Yeah.
Everybody.
The good news is he's still doing To Catch a Predator. He just calls it something different, and it's on that True Blue instead of on regular TV, and it's called The Takedown. But he's still catching predators, which is real cool.
Yeah, we saw him speak at CrimeCon. It was a lot of fun. It was nice to see him again. We saw him at the last one, too.
Yeah, and we saw the K9 demos, and...
We saw Johnny Depp's lawyer. That was cool.
Yep. And we saw Brian Enton, and Grant didn't know who he was. That was really fun.
I have no idea who that guy is, but he was a nice guy though. He had a good little speech too. He talked about Gabby Petito's family and stuff, so that was fun.
Yeah. And then we also heard BTK's daughter.
That was probably
talk.
the most interesting thing of the entire weekend, was actually hearing his daughter speak at this thing. And, you know, it was a little bit more too than just, oh, I'm his daughter, this is what it was like growing up with him. The police, the FBI, are actually using her to kind of interrogate him to see if there were any more victims, because he's kind of alluded that there might be more through drawings and things. So they're using her to see if they can get more info out of him.
And we're going to be doing an episode on BTK coming up too. So that's another reason why Grant was like interested, because he's like, oh, we're doing this one.
Totally. Yeah. BTK is so interesting, you know, because he's so weird. So weird.
Oh, and the Murdaugh lawyers were there too, and bitching and moaning.
Yeah, that's true.
About how Alec Murdaugh's innocent, and
he's
out of money.
Yeah, they announced that they're gonna file for an appeal, and it's like, why? And the other thing is, with going off of he's out of money, they're doing this on their dime. And it's like, for what? Like, what?
That was the whole point of it. It was to be like, he's out of money, so we're going to be nice lawyers and do it pro bono. It's like, yeah, right. That's not what's going on.
Oh.
It was that Ava Pilgrim, Jim Griffin, and that Harpootlian dickhead. And they were just like, we have a new suspect, and he couldn't have killed his wife because one time when he came into my office, he was holding his wife's hand or some shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Every guy who kills his wife has held his wife's hand at some point.
That's how they get close.
Yeah, it's like, how does that make him not eligible to kill his wife? Because it didn't make any sense. Anyway, people weren't very nice to them either with the questions from the audience.
I don't think I sat in on that one, so I don't know, but
yeah. They weren't very nice. They were like, how do you sleep at night?
Did they ask him that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And they're like, well, we have a job to do. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, like,
I mean, yes, you do, but like, you don't have to take that job.
Dude, defense attorneys though they're a different breed, man.
Anyway, they want a new trial or a do-over or whatever because they say there was jury tampering, and they're like, he's innocent until proven guilty. It's like, yeah, but he was proven guilty.
Right.
Remember that whole part where we had the trial?
Right. Like, everybody like tuned in and watched and was like, oh my gosh, this guy's guilty, obviously.
Yep. So what else is going on in true crime? Gypsy Rose Blanchard got parole.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Yeah, do you remember who she is?
Yeah, Gypsy Rose was the one whose mom like faked all of her medical stuff and said that she had cancer and all these other kind of things to dupe people into giving them a whole bunch of money and stuff. And then Gypsy Rose met a boyfriend.
Her and her boyfriend.
Yeah, she met an internet boyfriend, and they like had this plot to kill her mom, and then they went through with it, and she had 15 years, I think, 10 years she was sentenced to.
Yeah, I don't remember what her sentence was, but she got parole. They're supposed to release her by the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think our official From Crime to Crime stance on that is we don't really agree with her going to jail anyway. Like, her mom kept her as a prisoner, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know, I understand the premeditation and stuff like that. I get that. But in that case, I think she had no other choice.
Yeah, I'm fine with the parole.
With parole, right. But like the sentencing as a whole, I mean, I get it, but you know, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
She probably did deserve a little bit of something, so, you know, but at least she's out.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of life she'll lead now.
I don't know. But they arrested a guy for Tupac's murder too.
That's right. I forgot that was happening.
Yeah. Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D.
Keefe D.
Of Henderson, Nevada. You know where they served a search warrant on his house is like only a few miles from my house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, next time I'm out there, we'll go check it out.
Yeah. It's off a wagon wheel.
Oh. Well, you can rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel.
Yeah, so he was arrested for murder with the use of a deadly weapon. And he's been, like, known for years that he was involved and was, like, one of the people in the car. But I don't know, recently, I don't know if he, like, doesn't understand how murder charges work or what. But he, like, admitted in a memoir that he wrote that he bought the gun, and then he blamed the shooting on his nephew. He said Orlando Anderson, his nephew, was the shooter. But he, like, admitted to being in the car and buying the gun, and it was, like, this whole thing. He wrote it in his book.
Yeah, he was the shot caller, though, right? He, like, called in and was like, yep, we're going to do this hit on Tupac, and then his nephew carried it out.
And he talked about it, like, on podcasts. So I don't know if he was like, well, everybody else is dead that was involved. Like, his nephew's dead, and everybody else is dead. So I don't know if he thought, like, well, the statute of limitations is up on, like, accessory or something. That's the only thing I could think is that he, like, Googled accessory and was like, oh, it's only a 20-year statute. And so he thought he could talk about it, but that's not how murder charges work.
Come on, Keefy D. You got to know the law, man.
Yeah, because they can charge anybody that would, like, if you are committing a felony and a murder occurs, like, everybody involved in the murder can be arrested for murder.
Wow.
And they added a gang enhancement since he's a known Crip.
But he was like a big deal shot caller, though. Like, he was like top dog of the Crips, right?
I have no idea. According to him, yes. I don't know. I'm not real thoroughly invested in the Crips, but his memoir was called like Compton Street Legend or something like that. So,
dang.
I mean, it sounds like he thinks he was a big deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like he's kind of a big deal.
Well, at least he thinks he's a big deal.
Well, I mean, as in the gang world, it does sound like he was a big deal. Like a shot caller in like a gang that large. Like, I think in that world he was kind of a big deal. In regular society, maybe not, but
yeah. But would a gang leader write a memoir? Like, that really doesn't feel legit to me. But whatever.
I mean, yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Would you not want to read like what a gang member did in his like?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, I'm all about it. I want to know.
No. But they added a gang enhancement charge because of that to his charges. So if he does get convicted, he'll get an extra 20 years because of that.
Well.
And because everybody else that was in the car is dead now, he's the only one still alive. He's going down solo. He doesn't even have anybody to, like, blame it on. Except P. Diddy.
What happened to his nephew, do we know?
Yeah, he got shot, like, 2 years after Tupac did.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess street justice knew who did it long before criminal justice did.
Yeah, well, it was unrelated. It was just a different... I mean, when you run with gangs, like, that's gonna happen.
You get shot at.
Anyway, so that Charlotte Cena, that little girl that was kidnapped from her camping site with her parents.
Dude, this is wild. Can you, like, kind of give a whole backstory on it?
Yeah, so apparently she was camping with her family, and her cousins were riding bicycles, and then she wanted to do, like, one more loop than they did. So her cousins went back to the campsite, and she vanished in, like, a 4-minute loop that they were riding their bikes. And they searched for her for days, like 2 days, and she was nowhere to be found. And then at like 4:30 in the morning, 2 days after she went missing, somebody pulled up to her family's house and put a ransom note in the mailbox and drove away.
Absolutely nuts.
And luckily, this fucking moron was so dumb, he didn't wear gloves when he put this ransom note in their mailbox.
Yeah, this guy's a piece of work, man.
Yeah, so his fingerprints were all over the ransom note. And then they tracked him down and found out that he lived with his mommy in like a camper van behind his mom's trailer.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Even better than that, he lived in a trailer behind his mom's home. Like, he's not even in the house.
But when they went in to ask him questions and be like, the fuck's going on here? They found her in his camper, like in a cabinet.
Yeah.
Alive.
Right? Like just hiding out in a cabinet.
Yeah.
She wasn't even scared, it sounds like, when the like police came busting in. They knew, or she knew, they were there to help. So like she was like actually pretty cool about the whole thing. Like, oh good, these guys are gonna take this guy out. Wonderful.
Yeah. And they arrested him in his underwear, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's always nice. Was this a sexual assault thing, or like just a straight up kidnapping for ransom, or do we even know those
They're
details
not going to
yet?
say. She's 9 years old.
Oh.
They're not going to say.
Oh.
I mean, they know, I'm sure, but they won't say that to the crowd.
Really?
Mm-mm.
When will we find out? When she writes a book or something?
Probably. Or if he pleads not guilty and it goes to trial, if they have to bring it up at trial, but a lot of times they won't, because they won't want to make her have to testify, if that's why. Hopefully it was just for ransom. I mean yeah, we could all hope.
That's always our strongest hope. It's not necessarily the right assumption, but that's our hope.
It makes you think, though, like maybe kids really do get kidnapped. You know, we're always like, oh, it's probably the parents. But, I mean, this case obviously proves that it does happen.
Yeah.
Remember, like, that little Dior case where, like, oh, obviously his parents did something to him. It's like, maybe they didn't.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 of them that the kids go missing while they're camping. And everybody's like, that's not legit. But I guess it does happen.
I mean, it's got to. You know, the kids got to just wander off into the woods or something when someone's not looking at them. So.
Well, yeah, but that's always everybody's argument is like, what are the chances that somebody was waiting in the woods to abduct them? Like almost 0 to none.
Right.
But obviously it's not none.
Yeah, it's not none.
That's what happened to this girl.
It's never none.
So what else is going on? Oh, Paul Flores got stabbed in the neck. Like the first day he got to Coalinga.
Really? On the first day?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's what they said. They said that he got there like earlier that week, but it might have been his first day on the yard.
Oh, man. Oh, well. It was pretty bad too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Although within a week, they said it was serious, but within a week he was back at
well, that's it, huh?
back at the jail, but he was still in serious condition, they said. So he must have been in like the prison infirmary.
Yeah.
Like they must have transferred him from the hospital back to the prison infirmary. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed too. What a place to just hang out in critical condition, just inside the prison infirmary. Like, probably not critical, it's probably serious, but.
Yeah. Just a couple days ago, Paul and Ruben were back in court since he was attacked. So obviously he survived. So
what's he in court for?
Oh, it's a hearing about like the restitution portion of his case.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So he's back at Coalinga serving his sentence, but...
Do you know about this Barry Morphew one, too?
Oh, yeah, they found Suzanne Morphew's body.
Yeah.
She's the woman who went missing on Mother's Day in 2020, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and they arrested him, but then they had to release him because they didn't have enough evidence.
Well, they arrested him
they
in
found her body.
2021, and they arrested him with, they charged him with first-degree murder, so... Oh, no.
Yeah, but they didn't have enough evidence.
Yeah, that's crazy that they were able to find her body.
Yeah, they weren't looking. It wasn't like they were looking for it and they found it. It was found by chance.
Right. It was like a jogger or something, right?
No, I think they were doing some search and rescue for somebody else or something else, and they found her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, and Danny Masterson went to prison, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
That's another reason why we haven't been recording, because I got super obsessed with Scientology.
Yeah, Erica's in now. She's in the Sea Org.
Yeah. Well, I've always like kind of been really intrigued by like how do all of these actors and actresses and everything like not understand this is a cult. But then now that I've done a lot more research, it's they do understand. They just choose to stay in it because of the benefits they get being celebrities. So
yeah,
I solved the mystery for you guys. They know it's a cult and they know that they treat people like shit.
They just don't care.
Because they're reaping the benefits of these people literally giving their lives to Scientology. They end up being slaves to Tom Cruise or Danny Masterson or whoever.
And Erica's not being facetious with that. Like, they actually have to, like, do anything that these people want at the drop of a hat. They can't tell them no. So... yeah. They really are, like... And, like, they're paid, but, like, what would you say? Like, $48 a week or something?
Are they? Are they paid, though?
Oh, well.
Yeah, they get like $48 a week or some shit, $46 a week. And they have to buy their own, like, toiletries and, like, they get housed and fed, but they don't get shampoo or deodorant. Like, they have to use that $46 a week to buy body wash.
That's... That's nuts. Like, they're just completely reliant on David Hasselhoff and the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, David Miscavige.
There you go. I couldn't remember what it was, so I just called it.
It was like David Hasselhoff. I didn't know he had ties.
Well, I like that you were just like, yeah.
Well, every day I find out a new celebrity that has ties to Scientology, and it's like, dude, because that's the crazy thing is they have like they have public Scientologists and celebrity Scientologists, and then they have people on staff, and then people in the Sea Org, and they have like different levels. And if you can't afford to give the church a certain amount of money, then instead you donate your time and your life
and your soul.
Yeah. So anyway,
Erica won't take me to the Scientology museum or whatever it is, church in LA.
I want to go so bad.
Let's go.
Because I want to see them try to recruit me. Like, because I got questions.
I'm in.
But that's the problem, though, is if I take you, you're going to end up being a Scientologist by the time we leave. You're going to be in the Sea Org. You're going to sign some fucking billion-year contract. Your kids are going to be in the Sea Org. It's going to be a whole fucking deal. Christine's going to have to get you out of it. It's going to be a whole nightmare.
We might get to meet Tom Cruise, though.
No, nobody gets to meet Tom Cruise.
What? What's the point of him being a Scientologist, then? I mean, nobody gets to meet him. He has a staff of...
Yeah, that's it. The people who are handpicked to work for him get to meet him. But he has like a separate entrance and separate buildings that he goes to, like that even other celebrity Scientologists aren't allowed to go in that entrance if Tom Cruise is there.
I will tell you right now, I am dense and likable, so I for sure could get myself into Tom Cruise's life. I guarantee it.
No, you couldn't. He's an OT8, dude. He thinks he's fucking better than you.
I don't know what that means.
He would never.
OT8?
It's like one of the highest levels. You got to go through the OT level. Come on, Grant. You don't know nothing?
I don't know anything about Scientology yet, but I'm looking forward to getting to know more about it in Tom Cruise.
You have to like work the bridge and move your way up, and you buy your way up is really what it is.
Like
and
in the Boy Scouts?
And then you have to do all these like audits and interrogations and all this kind of stuff, and you get different levels, and OT8 is like the highest level, although it's not. There's like higher levels, but nobody can get there, so OT8 is like the highest level, I guess, of anybody that's around.
Oh, I could do it. I could totally do it.
It takes years and like hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to OT8.
Well,
Maybe
I'm not
millions.
paying for it. I thought it was like a free work your way up, like after hard work or something. I could do that. I'm not paying for that kind of stuff.
No, the people who give their whole lives and work super hard can't get there because they can't pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole fucking deal with the money. It's a big deal.
I might be able to get there if they let me have a regular job and not pay me $46 every so often.
No, you can't. It's not how it works. It's funny because the more I think about it, it's definitely, you are totally prime cult material, like recruit material. But this particular cult, not so much, because you do have to pay to play. Like, you have to have money.
And I wouldn't do that.
And you're super tight with your money. There's no way.
My mom used to call me Fred Mertz for all of our I Love Lucy fans out there, because I'm very, very tight on my money. So
yeah, so I don't think you would make it very far in Scientology, to be honest.
No, not if I have to pay for it. Absolutely not.
Plus, you wouldn't understand all the, like, they have their own languages. Like,
dense and likable.
Words
I'd get through it.
They use words, though, that, like, aren't a thing.
I'm sure I could catch on. I know how language kind of works. They're just sounds. You just got to equate those sounds with whatever it is.
No. They're real words. Like, they're real English words. They just don't mean what they use them for.
Oh, I can figure this out.
It's like code language, almost.
I got this. I can figure this out. But anyway, so Danny Masterson sexually assaulted a couple ladies, and he's going to jail for a while. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis got themselves canceled by helping him out, so that was a mistake on their end.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but now this whole thing is going to bring down Scientology, because during this Masterson trial, like, it came out that, like, because everybody's like, oh, why did these women wait so long to report it and all this? And it's like, they didn't. They reported it immediately when it happened, and Scientology covered the whole fucking thing up.
Hopefully this will bring in, like, discovering where Shelley Miscavige is. Shelley Miscavige is. And for those who don't know, that's the leader's wife who's been missing for, like, what, 20 years, 25 years, something like that?
No, I think it's like 16 or 17 years.
That's still
too many. And some people
many.
think that he's, like, hiding her away in what do they call them? They call them something where they like adjust their attitudes, but for like years. It's pretty much a concentration camp.
That's what I was going to call it. I was like,
I
think you mean a concentration camp.
Yeah, but in Scientology, they call them like a rehabilitation.
Internment camp?
No, they call it like a training camp or whatever, but that's not what it is. There's a word for it. Like I said, they use words that aren't real, and then but they are real words. They just don't mean what they use them for.
Sure.
So, anyway, there's a lot of people that think she's being like hidden away at one of these places because that's what he does with a lot of people. But then I don't know. I don't know why it's not more of a theory that he killed her, because I mean, people kill their wives all the time, especially like really short, little, violent men.
Like him.
They kill their wives all the time.
Yeah.
And he's known to like fly off the handle and beat the shit out of people and stuff. Like, that's his thing. He has like a major temper.
Is there a correlation to a man's height and his likelihood to like beat his wife?
Well, in David Miscavige's case, yes. But I think in general, I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I just was curious.
No, he's just a little guy. And he obviously is very self-conscious about that because he wears like high heel shoes and stuff. So I like to bring it up when I can.
Dude, I know that Tom Cruise is short too. Maybe that's kind of
Same thing.
They do it together.
Oh, they do. They're like buddies. They go high-heeled boot shopping together.
I'm
they wear
sure
lifts
they
in
are.
their boots.
Yeah, they have to be best friends. They have to be.
Yeah, they are.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's real gross. So don't see any Tom Cruise movies, by the way, unless you want to support human trafficking and covering up sexual assaults and child abuse and all kinds of shit that goes on in fucking Scientology.
I don't think I've seen a Tom Cruise movie since I watched Rain Man, but I might have seen the Mission Impossible films.
You didn't see that new Top Gun movie?
No, definitely not. I don't really care for Top Gun. I really thought it was kind of overrated and not really that good. I know a lot of people think differently, but I was like, this is kind of like whatever, right? So
yeah, people in their 40s love that movie.
They really, really do. I, again, think
know.
it's kind of lame, but...
I just don't like Tom Cruise because I know too much about Scientology.
I don't like Tom Cruise because I know enough about Tom Cruise. It actually has nothing to do with Scientology. I just know the guy's off of his rocker.
Yep. So anyway, if we don't make it back for our episode next week, it's because Scientology caught us talking about them.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that, guys. You guys if we do go missing again, it's because Scientology caught up to us. So just please know that and report it, but not to the LAPD.
Yeah, no shit. But I do think, though, now that all this is coming out and all these, like, ex-Scientologists now have YouTube channels and stuff, that's the only reason why I'm like, we could talk about it a little bit now. Because there's so many people talking about Scientology, especially ex-Scientologists.
Yeah, well, I've been asking to do Scientology for, honestly, since we started the podcast, and it's always been a hard no from you. But now that people are talking about it, you've been more open to it.
Yeah. Well, because they can't get us all.
No. But they could get little people like us. So we're probably going to, like, first on the list. Yeah, they could get to us real quick.
I don't know. They really hate former Scientologists talking, like, that's real high up on their list.
Well, just
because
like,
those people have real information and they have names.
And just like we have no experience in criminology or law or forensics or anything else like that, we have no experience with Scientology either. So don't come at us.
No. But I am going to go to that Scientology building in LA and give it your best shot.
Let's
See if you
go.
can convince me.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I can go with you. You will keep me from getting abducted.
Well, we should bring your wife.
Yeah, she's better at that.
Yeah, because I can't deal with your drugged body alone.
You think I want to deal with your drugged body?
You like the way I brought that all the way back?
Yeah, I do.
That's
At CrimeCon, Erica accused me of possibly roofing her drink, and I was like, what? You think I want to be the one who deals with your drug self? That's not going to happen.
Well, you were the only one around my drink, and I felt like I got drugged.
Oh, yeah, because I had some really good jokes, and Erica laughed at them, and so she was convinced that I roofied her, because
yeah,
I'm not that funny, which I think we can all tell now. I am that funny. I'm also dense and likable.
Yeah, but you were making jokes that were, like, severely funny. Like, I was, like, laughing so hard my stomach hurt.
Erica, I do that all the time. You just
You're
don't.
not that funny, bro.
I am. You just
No.
don't get them. They're over your head. They're very intelligent jokes.
Or they're under my head. That was
Yeah, they're under your head too, honey. Yeah, no problem. They're
stupid.
yeah, no problem about that. They're under
All
your
right.
head.
You know what I meant. You knew what I meant, Dick.
Sure. Yeah, of course I did.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you
hang
next
on.
week. And next week,
Hang
I
on.
promise.
There's the
What?
last one we didn't talk
What?
about.
What?
You didn't hear about the thief that fell and broke his leg in wet cement? He became a hardened criminal.
Stupid. Dumb.
See?
Hey, be careful. Don't cackle.
No, it's not my cackle. It's your cackle.
I know. That's why I tried really hard not to.
Oh, no. I need the cackle. All the cack. Bring the cack back.
All right, guys. We'll be back with all of our folksy duoing next week.
Oh, my God. I can't wait. And don't forget, everyone, we are better than those hacks, Crime Junkie.
Love you.
I love you, too. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been a production of Orange Halo Media, LLC, hosted by Grant and Erica. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. To chat with us, go to From Crime to Crime on Instagram, From Crime to Crime on TikTok, From Crime 2 Crime on Twitter, or you can visit our website at FromCrime2Crime.com. See you next Wednesday.